Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a stunning 3D illustration right inside Figma. If you've ever wondered how to bring a bit of dimensional flair and depth to your designs without using heavy software, you're going to love how easy and effective this method is. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to make eye-catching 3D-style graphics that pop right off the screen, all with just a few built-in tools in Figma. So let's jump right in. We'll start by creating the foundational shape of our illustration, a simple rectangle. Go ahead and grab the rectangle tool from the top bar and draw out a shape anywhere on your canvas. It can be any size you like, depending on your desired look, but even a basic shape works great for learning these techniques. The reason we're starting with something simple like a rectangle is so you can really see the principles of shadow and light at work, which is what will give us that 3D effect. Next up, we get to the magic, adding shadows using Figma's Effects panel. Click on your rectangle to select it, then head over to the right-hand sidebar where you'll find the Effects section. Click the small plus sign to add a drop shadow. This is where things get interesting. Adjust the position, move the shadow down and to the right slightly, then gently turn up the blur slider. What this does is create the illusion of your rectangle lifting off the page with a soft shadow falling beneath it. I like to think of it like a book resting on a desktop. The subtle shadow tells our brains there's some height and space involved. Now let's build up that 3D look even further by layering another shadow underneath. In the Effects panel, add a second drop shadow. This time you'll want to increase the spread. This is how wide the shadow is, then pump up the blur more than before. Adjust its position so it's slightly wider out from the first shadow. It might feel a little odd adding multiple shadows, but this layering trick really helps create the soft, rounded, elevated look that makes objects feel tactile, almost as if you could reach in and pick them up. If your illustration looks a bit too dark, don't worry. Play around with the opacity and blur sliders and trust your eye. You want the rectangles to look like they're floating, not just stuck flat to the canvas. Alright, let's mix things up by adding a circle. This will show you how to use gradients and color to make objects feel even more three-dimensional. Draw a circle next to your rectangle and give it a bold base color to start. Now it's time for a little trick. We're going to add a radial gradient fill. Click on the circle and set the fill type to gradient, then radial. Set the top color right in the center to pure white and leave the outer color as your original base. Drag the gradient line up so the white stays toward the top or wherever a light source might realistically hit the object. This simulates a highlight, mimicking how light bounces off a glossy surface like a shiny button or a ball. Next comes the finishing touch, shadows for the circle. Jump over to the Effects panel again and add a drop shadow. Move the shadow off to one side, imagine where the light would naturally cast it. Go ahead and adjust the blur and spread until you get a soft, diffuse shadow. This gives the circle that lovely popped-out look, as if it's hovering above the canvas. If you want, tweak the color or transparency until it feels just right. Sometimes you may need to nudge things around or adjust the layer order. Don't worry if it takes a minute to dial in the perfect look. And that's really it. You've just made a simple but beautiful 3D illustration in Figma. With a rectangle and circle plus some layered shadows and gradients, you can create dimensional elements for your UI projects, social posts, or presentations. If you found this tutorial helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. If you have any questions or want to share your own tips and results, just drop a comment below. I'd love to hear how you're using these techniques. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.